Two huge reports today over the Epstein fiasco. The first, Dan Bongino, deputy director of the FBI, is reportedly livid, extremely upset with how Pam Bondi has been handling the Epstein client file, whatever you want to call it, release or non-release for that matter, through the media and through President Trump. He didn't show up for work today. That's number one. Number two, there is a brand new report by Wired saying that the video footage, the 10-hour video footage of Epstein in his cell that Pam Bondi released, and the Department of Justice released, was modified. These are two huge bombshells, and I'm going to go through them, each of them one by one, step by step with you right now. Let's get right into it. Apparently, Bongino didn't come into work, leading some insiders to believe he had quit. But administration officials say he's still on the job even as the internal tension over the Epstein case continues. A source close to Bongino said he ain't coming back. So at the center of this argument is the surveillance video from outside Epstein's cell that the administration released, saying it was proof no one had entered the room before he killed himself. I did a bunch of videos on this. If you haven't seen this, go on my channel. Ton of videos. Even the video yesterday of Dershowitz, Alan Dershowitz, the Harvard law professor, saying, I've actually physically seen it. The 10-hour video had what was widely been called a missing minute, fueling conspiracy theories all over the cover-up involving Epstein's death. The missing minute, authorities say, stemmed from an old surveillance recording system that goes down each day at midnight to reset and record anew. It takes a minute for that process to occur, which effectively means that 60 seconds of every day aren't recorded. Bongino, who had pushed Epstein conspiracy theories as a podcast host before President Trump appointed him, found the video and touted it publicly and privately as proof that Epstein hadn't been murdered. Remember the footage when him and Kash Patel went on Maria Bartiromo's show and says, look, he ended himself. I can't say it because the video will get deleted, but he basically expired himself, right? And they were very kind of sheepish, I would say, very coy about it, but definitive. But you could tell there was a lack of confidence in their voices. The conclusion shared by FBI Director Kash Patel, another conspiracy theorist turned insider, that's Axios saying this, not me, angered many in the Trump MAGA's base, criticism that increased after Axios first reported the release of the video and a related memo. After the video's missing minute was discovered, Bongino was blamed internally for the oversight, according to three sources. Two sources familiar with Bongino's position say he was increasingly displeased with Bondi's handling of the Epstein case because she had publicly overpromised and undelivered disclosures about an Epstein client list that apparently never existed. Now, I wholeheartedly, and I was very adamant about this in the previous videos that I've published over the last several days, Pam Bondi handled this awfully. I think everybody knows that. She claimed it was on her desk. Then she claimed it wasn't. Then she claimed she had truckloads. Then she claimed it was just, we have to go through, make sure the victims aren't yada, 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 being exposed, but we're going to come out with it. She handed out binders saying Epstein files phase 1 to all these so-called MAGA conservative influencers. It was a disaster from day one. I think everybody would agree with that. Laura Loomer, a Bondi critic, first reported Friday on X that Bongino left work and that he and Patel were furious. So it's Patel as well, it looks like, with the way Bondi had handled the case. Some Trump advisors have criticized Bondi, but Trump loves Pam and thinks she's great, a senior White House official said. That's absolutely true. He really does love her. A lot of people I've been seeing this on X. By the way, follow me on X, Professor Nez, on X everywhere. A lot of people I've been noticing have been saying that Matt Gaetz would have never let this happen, that he should take over as Attorney General. But I'll tell you what, that's never going to happen because Matt Gaetz was initially nominated. And then the powers that be came and said, bro, we've got so much dirt on you. You need to leave. We don't want you to be Attorney General. And that's both. It was a partisan, like Republicans, GOP, rhinos, as well as the Hippocrats. And they said they've got something on him, and he was just like, okay, fine. And he ran away. He fled. Now he's doing some unknown ghost show on American Network or something. I don't even know what the heck's going on with Gates. Gates is another disappointment, if you ask me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Those witnessing Wednesday clash between Bondi and Bongino in the White House were Patel, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and Deputy Chief of Staff Taylor Budowich. I'm going to try to get them on the show. During the meeting, Bongino was confronted about a News Nation article that said he and Patel wanted more information released about Epstein earlier, but were held back. Bongino denied linking that idea. Pam said her piece. Dan said his piece. It didn't end on friendly terms, said one person briefed on the heated discussion. Bongino left angry, the source said. The fact is, Dan was for releasing the information with the video and had no problem until he got heat online, a senior administration official says. Bongino found the video with the missing minute. He vouched for it after a thorough review, he said, and he thought this would end the matter. When that didn't work, he lost his mind and ran out of D.C. Said a pro-Bongino source, Dan is not the bad guy here. He shouldn't take the fall. The big picture, the blowup involving Trump's senior law enforcement officials showed just how much the administration has been rocked by its handling of the Epstein case. At different times, Bondi, Bongino, and Patel each have complained to others that they were being unfairly blamed for the Epstein flap and hung out to dry. Bongino is a former Secret Service agent, joined the administration after gaining prominence as a conservative podcaster with regular appearances on Fox News. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche weighed in on Friday, saying that he worked closely with Patel and Bongino on the joint FBI and DOJ memo regarding the Epstein files. All of us signed off on the contents of the memo and the conclusions stated in the memo. The suggestion by anyone that there was any daylight between the FBI and DOJ leadership on this memo's composition and release is patently false. Okay. Before we get to the next report, I just want to say this. I want to ask you guys, do you think that Dan Bongino is going to quit? Let me know in the comments down below. Just give me a yes in the comments if you think he's going to quit. Just give me a no in the comments if you don't think he's going to quit. I personally think he hates doing this. He signed on because I think he thought this was going to be something that he would have a little bit more freedom to do what he wanted to do, to go after who he wanted to go after. He didn't realize, you know, you're coming at a public sector position like this in a high profile, a high level, and you're coming from the world of entrepreneurialism. I know this firsthand, because I've worked in the public sector at the university and I'm doing my own thing with media with this, and I've done consulting. I've run many, many businesses. And running a business, being your own boss, there's no question, there's no substitute for that. There's no comparison. And so I personally think he's leaving, he's done, he's gone. But I think if he quits, his credibility was already on thin ice. I saw that interview he did with Maria Bartiromo, and I thought it lacked any conviction. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to recover from this. I think he needs to stick it out. Otherwise, are you going to be known as a quitter? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But he's always smelt a little fishy for me from day one. And I think he misses being a podcaster. He already made mention that it's very hard for him to be away from his family, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you should have known that kind of going in, that it was going to be hard. I don't think it looks good if he quits. I'll just say that. And I don't know if he'll be able to just take the mantle back right up of being this, you know, highly, highly popular podcaster again. I just don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. But let's get into this. Okay, so this is just another kind of monkey in the wrench. This came out today as well. Metadata shows the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified. So this is really, really amazing. Metadata embedded in the video and analyzed by Wired and independent video forensic experts shows that rather than being a direct export from the prison's surveillance system, the footage was modified, likely using the professional editing tool Adobe Premiere Pro. The file appears to have been assembled from at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, and then uploaded to the DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage. Wow, what do you think about that? Experts caution that it's unclear what exactly was changed and that the metadata does not prove deceptive manipulation. The video may have simply been processed for public release using available software with no modifications beyond stitching together two clips. But the absence of a clear explanation for the processing of the file using professional editing software complicates the Justice Department's narrative. In a case already clouded by suspicion, the ambiguity surrounding how the file was processed is likely to provide fresh fodder for conspiracy theories. Working with two independent video forensics experts, Wired examined the 21 gigabyte files released by the DOJ using a metadata tool. Reporters analyzed, so these experts say the raw file shows clear signs of having been processed using an Adobe product. According to experts, right there in the middle, Adobe software, including Premiere and Photoshop, leaves traces in exported files, often embedding. This is a bunch of code nerd crap here, but essentially they know it's been tampered with. This Haney Farid is a recognized expert in the analysis of digital images. He has testified. He says the metadata raises immediate concerns about chain of custody, the documented handling of digital evidence from collection to presentation. It's like physical evidence, he explains. Digital evidence must be handled in a way that preserves its integrity. Metadata, while not always precise, can provide important clues about whether that integrity has been compromised. He says, quote, if a lawyer brought me this file and asked if it was suitable for court, I'd say no. Go back to the source, do it right. Do a direct export from the original system. No monkey business. Holy macadamia nut. It is beyond obvious. Okay, few things. I can't wait to get your comments on this. I'm going to be reading your comments diligently. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, it is beyond abundantly obvious something is awry. It is beyond abundantly obvious these files exist. It is beyond abundantly obvious Pam Bondi, Trump, they don't want this to come out. The powers that be don't want this to come out. The power beyond the power, the guy behind the guy behind the guy, maybe even more powerful than the president of the United States, they don't want it coming out. But something needs to come out, because this is not going to go away. I don't think this is going to fade away. I still love my president. I trust my president. I couldn't trust Pam Bondi as far as I could spit on her, not in a million years. I never really trusted Bongino, but, hey, that's just me. Kash Patel, I did trust him, not so much anymore. It's really these three right here. And if I were Trump, and I think this is going to happen, either Pam Bondi's got to go. I think Bongino's going to quit. Either Pam Bondi's got to go or Patel's got to go, but somebody's got to go over the mismanagement. There may be no real kind of cause for alarm over this so-called tampering of the video or metadata export thing. It might not be that big of a deal. But again, the key word there is it was communicated and conveyed as being raw footage. Why? Just tell the truth. Have you learned nothing from President Trump? Why he's won? Why he has resoundingly taken every swing state, won the popular vote? Why his approval rating, which taken a little ding lately, but it's always been pretty high with America? It's because of his raw authenticity. Why not just tell the truth? Why do we have to keep finding out by needling you and pushing the issue? We shouldn't have to do that. You learn nothing. And I think Bondi, more than Bongino and Patel, is really the one who I think has lost all credibility. And so I think Bondi needs to either be fired or resign over this. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, she promised, she had it on her desk. She promised, we've got thousands, truckloads of documents. She gave binders that said Epstein files. Phase 1 to all these MAGA conservative influencers. She has been more on Fox. She's been more in media than she has, arresting criminals. By the way, has anybody been arrested? Have we seen anybody in handcuffs that deserves to be in handcuffs? I don't know about you, but I haven't. So this isn't going away. I'm hoping to God it gets resolved. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Your boy Nez is going to keep you covered on everything. Holy mackerel. This is pretty big. As always, please tap that thumbs up if you love America. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps us out immeasurably. Our mission here is to make common sense go viral. What you get here, you won't get across the propaganda woke corporate media We share with you the unvarnished truth, doing our own due diligence, qualitative and quantitative research. So please, you can even do it with your remote control. If you're watching on TV, please tap that thumbs up. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's free. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.